All right. I'm here. Mars is here. And we got 4 minutes to spare.
Yeah.
No Brian yet, though.
Well, maybe he's getting his GTA set up.
There he is. We don't need to do that. I got way too much material this week. And I think we left it to the peeps out there to start the pool. So I think I took
Wait, the peeps are in the pool. What? It's too cold.
No, the peeps that are listening. So I don't know what was the official clock on my tow truck story yesterday on the Dude and Johnny show. Was that like 40 minutes or so?
I don't know. I was asleep.
You were there.
I napped.
You were there. I saw you there.
I napped. I came on at 4:15.
Oh, that's why
you guys started the Twitch finds.
Okay, yeah, but all right. Point is that I think there's a pool going. How long it will take Gators to tell a story that took 40 minutes on the Dune and Johnny show when he retells it with Brian's presence in the room.
So I should get a pillow? Is that what you're saying? Fill up my coffee cup?
Oh, you don't.
Fill up my M&M bowl?
You haven't heard? You could make a coffee loaf instead, so you could eat your coffee instead of drinking your coffee. You've not heard about this?
That sounds gross.
Oh, I did that in college when I had an old Mr. Coffee. You know how you're supposed to put like 3 scoops of ground coffee in there? I fill it all the way to the top. I just filled the basket, and it came out nice and thick. You could stick a chopstick standing up in it.
Hey, Jesus, you walk on water or coffee.
Hey, it was delicious. I loved it.
Coffee, water, it's all the same. No, but one of my favorite shorts, what do you call people that make shorts? Because they were Vines, and then and now TikToks is a thing, but YouTube has YouTube Shorts.
TikTok may not be a thing. You don't know.
So they're not exactly a streamer, because they don't really stream. They make little shorts. So what would you call someone like B. Dylan Thomas that is well known for their short videos? I don't know what you call him.
Shorties?
People.
Don't want no short people No, we do want short people around here because they're awesome. The short people are awesome. So
why, you're gonna start doing shorts?
No, that's not for me. But I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share this short because
is this part of the story, or are we starting the clock yet?
There's not really. I said there's a pool, but I'm not arranging it. That's up to the listeners to sort that out. No. What we're doing here is this is not the story yet. This is
Warhawk.
This is a little, and no, it should be tow truck because I'm quoting the punchline of one of the lamest jokes of all time. And I've told this joke way too many times on the show, but since Warhawk asked, I'll tell it again. This is not the story. This is a story.
This is a warm-up story.
This is a joke. So there are no questions necessary because this didn't really happen.
Gotcha.
And this is my grandfather's.
Yeah.
This is my grandfather's joke. So all credit goes to him because he was driving home one day, and he ends up behind an ambulance. You know, sirens aren't on or anything. It's just an ambulance. And he notices that the door hadn't latched properly. And, you know, he comes to a stop at the stoplight, and the door kind of swings open a bit. And the light turns green, ambulance drives off, and this box falls out the back of the ambulance. My grandfather's like, that's not good.
No, it's not.
So he pulls over, he gets out of the car, he goes and gets the box. And the box says on it, human tow. So my grandfather's like, that's odd. Opens up the box. And what's inside the box? But a human tow.
Damn.
So he called a tow truck. So, yeah. That's why when I had a story about a tow truck, what came to mind for the stream title was So he called a tow truck.
Let me ask you this question, relating your joke.
Okay.
What actually was the punchline?
Oh.
That was the punchline.
I know. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. I have never heard my grandfather himself tell that joke, but I could hear him telling it. That's
Nice.
Yeah.
So in other words, he gets the blame for the joke you heard someplace else.
Well, yeah. My dad retold it, and it was definitely not his joke. Accountants don't tell jokes like that. Their jokes usually have beans involved. But, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
another bad joke. Hey, Dune.
Hey, Dune. Hey, Mars. Hey, Warhawk.
Johnny. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, Mod Pro. Hey, Stream Elements. I don't know why Stream Elements is now popping in the chat, but I'm okay with it. So, yeah.
And Stream Elements says Johnny Gators is not live streaming, just
is
chatting.
Now live.
Now. Oh, I see. There's a little thingy over the end of the line which cuts it off.
Right.
So I just read in the word now myself.
So I'm not gonna share. I don't want this to be construed as ripping off other people's material, because you should go give B. Dylan Hollis. What's his name? B. Dylan Hollis. You should give him views. Go check out his channel. Check out the rest of his shorts after the show. We're just gonna share one of his many shorts, and we have shared some of his shorts in the past. But this one is specifically just for you, Mars, because I thought of you when I saw this. And mind you, this is weeks old, and I'm just now getting around to telling you about it. So
it's
here's
okay. I still haven't seen it, so it's fine.
Okay.
9 for the man who hasn't the time to both breakfast and have his cup of joe.
Oh wait, it cut the beginning
A
off.
coffee loaf from 59
Coffee
for the
loaf.
man who hasn't the time to both breakfast and have his cup of joe. Oh, the 50s. When breakfast was a verb, baseball was relevant, and I would have had to have had a wife. Dry ingredients are 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of floof powder, pinch of salt, salt, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Dissolve half a cup of instant coffee in the same amount of boiling water. Half a cup! Like 20 cups of coffee! Ooh, this looks like 10W40. I just let this fester. Now cream together a half cup of shortening or butter with 3/4 of a cup of sugar and a 1/3 cup of cream. If you're curious, you're probably not straight, but that's unrelated. Cream was a powdered creamer. You can still buy powdered creamer if you like the taste of wood glue. 3. Finally, alternate adding the dry and the motor oil and the coffee to a greased loaf. 325 for about an hour. Check with a toothpick. Look.
Oh.
It's really good. Lovely. I'd send this to a coffee lover, I'll tell you that. A coffee.
So that's
why does it look like an actual brownie rather than some type of coffee?
Well, they used instant coffee in it. But yeah.
It's got the contents of 20 cups worth of instant coffee. So yeah, it's a little on the dark side.
So about 1 cup of my coffee then.
I wonder if he did a switcheroo and that's not really what he cooked up.
No, this guy's pretty good. He does this. What's really neat about this, Brian? Have you ever watched this guy before?
No, never heard of him.
Yeah, you should watch him. He does stuff from like the 50s and 60s and like yeah, he's really neat. I watched a ton of his stuff. He's really good.
As a guest or just to his videos before?
We featured his videos before.
I love his depression food. The stuff he does for the depression is really good. That stuff's really good.
So his name is what again?
B. Dylan Hollis.
Yeah.
Okay. No, YouTube. I don't want your fucking premium shit.
B as in letter B. Dylan.
Dylan, like Bob.
Right. Like B. Dylan Hollis.
Yeah.
What's the last name?
Hollis. Hollis. Like it's Christmas time in Hollis Springs. No, you don't.
Wait.
There's the guy.
Is that a Young and Restless reference?
No, that's a Run DMC reference.
Oh.
Is what that is. No, but yeah. He made a his latest video is actually a ranch cornbread.
Ooh, this has got to be good. This was a year ago, called Spam Sorrows.
Oh God, no.
That one, no.
He actually published a cookbook, though. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This guy's really neat.
He is. He is. So there
He's
you go,
funny,
Mars.
too, which is cool.
So
Huh?
Mars, you gonna try making the coffee loaf?
Okay, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
how long ago do you think it was since I've had instant coffee in my condo?
I'm sure you can acquire said.
Can I make this?
coffee.
Can I just make a cup of coffee with half the amount of water and make it with that?
If you make some kind of motor oil slurry,
Oh, I can do that. I can do that.
that
That's
is
not a problem.
the equivalent of.
Yep.
I guess if you add a half a cup of instant coffee to a half a cup of water, you're gonna have not exactly a full cup because the coffee is going to dissolve in the water, but more than a half a cup. So, a generous half cup of motor oil, basically.
What if I do 2
By
cups
the
of
way,
instant
I just had a pop up from LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Your buddy
Hey, Sparky.
Peter Mealy has been posting.
Oh, I've blocked him.
Oh, try what the fuck? LinkedIn Premium for $0.
Uh-huh.
I don't even want it for fucking free.
Wait. Oh, he hasn't reached out to me on LinkedIn. He has 2 Facebook accounts, and they're both him, and they're both active at times. But I blocked them both when he started getting a little passive aggressive about the record collection situation.
Oh, I don't follow David Aitchison, but he's on LinkedIn as well.
Me neither. I never knew him.
Apparently telling jokes.
I don't know who these people are, but I don't follow them.
Well, if you ever want M&Ms, go trick-or-treating at his place.
David
I'm eating
Aitchison,
those right now.
David Aitchison was the son of the boss of Thargo.
To put it in Dune terms, he's Thargo Generation 3.
Right. But he didn't want to run the company, so they sold it.
Right. AKA Generation 3. So
I don't know. So a friend of mine
Dude has a theory about the 3rd generation of
okay, so a friend of mine was descended from Samuel Colt of the Colt Firearms Company.
Okay. All right.
I don't know when the family departed the business. But he had nothing to do with the business.
Somewhere around Generation 3, I would guess.
I was going with that.
So, anyways, and the great thing is that yes, I may be retelling some things I've told yesterday, but the story wasn't over yesterday. There have been further developments on the story today, and knowledge to pass on and lessons learned. And I guess I should start even further back than I started on yesterday's story. So we can't fully blame Brian for the story being longer. But I am going to follow my own advice that I thought of for myself yesterday. And Brian, I'd like to preface this with, this story has a conclusion. So
all right.
I'm not saying that input isn't needed, but suggestions aren't needed because I've already taken this journey to its conclusion. But I mean, if there's things that could be done better next time, by all means, but I'm going to cover as much of that as I can.
Is the answer to this whole situation carrot cake gators?
Carrot cake. That's a good answer. That's a very good answer.
Okay.
But here's the thing. When I was in driver's ed, we learned about the different things that the different, lights mean on the dashboard, so that we're not like the daughter on Modern Family that's like, oh, Dad, there's a little magic genie lamp on the car that came on a few miles ago. Yeah, that's things you don't want to hear your daughter say. The magic genie light means stop the car, turn it off, and call a tow truck. And I don't mean an ambulance that lost a toe. But, so, you kind of learn about, the different lights. The oil light means pull over, turn off the car because the engine's going to catch on fire if you keep running it. The temperature light, you're going to want to stop for that. But the battery light, you're going to want to keep driving. And I remembered that much. Unfortunately, the rest of the saying goes, you want to keep driving to a service station, which is not exactly how this story unfolds. So Wednesday night, we did a little grocery shopping, went to the grocery store, picked up makings for tacos, throw it in the back of the car, start the car, drive home. On the way driving home from the grocery store, the battery light comes on. And I'm like, oh. Crap.
Your alternator's pooched. You need a new one.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm not driving to the service center now. I'm driving home with the groceries to, get stuff in the fridge. And I'll have to figure this out tomorrow. Now, here's the thing. So
basically, you go home, you put your battery trickle charger on it, charge it, and then you leave in the morning. Is that the that part? Or
here's the problem. The problem is 6 months prior, I've scheduled my biannual teeth cleaning for Thursday morning. So, of course, the car has a breakdown the night before I need to drive to get my teeth clean. And if I call up on Thursday morning and cancel, they're going to want to charge me for that because that would be a last-minute cancellation.
Wait. Will they charge you for that?
I don't know. I could always Uber my way there if I need to, which is probably what I should have done. But I decided, well, I don't even know if this is a real problem or just a phantom light, because sometimes, something throws a code and it fixes itself when you turn it off and turn it back on. So, let's see what happens. We'll see.
Gators, if all else fails, you could take a trip to the dentist's office in first gear in the other car.
Yeah. That's certainly something that could be done. That could have been done. Although that car is producing smoke now.
That's okay. That's just releasing the demons. It's fine. It's fine.
It's a little ahead of schedule for a new pope.
It's fine. Yeah. It's just releasing the demons. That smoke is fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Anyways, so I decide let's go for it. Let's see what happens. So
okay. Beep. Time for an interruption.
Okay.
The clock is still ticking.
Is it?
So Caldwell Hartcolt was second generation. He went to Yale.
This has nothing to do with batteries.
I know. He was. We're working toward this third generation. Remember, he was son of Samuel Colt. Blah blah blah. So he had He was also a designer, and he designed the Colt double barrel rifle.
Okay.
Is that the one that has two triggers?
No, that's the one that's battery powered. And speaking of batteries,
you have batteries on that one?
Speaking of batteries, while I'm driving to the dentist office on Thursday morning, the battery light comes back on, even though the car started.
Okay.
So it was kind of good news, bad news. Good news, the car started Thursday morning. Bad news, I still have a battery light. So I'm driving to the dentist office because I have my appointment. I'm kind of committed to this plan now to see how far I can push this. But it's like, am I going to be able to start the car after my teeth cleaning? I don't know, because I still definitely have a problem, because now this is 2 times I've run the car and it's throwing me the battery light. So I'm like, whatever. We'll park the car. We'll turn it off. I mean, if I need to,
Did you bring your little ODB sensor? Can you clear your codes on that or no?
At some point I did connect my little sensor and it didn't give me any codes. It did not give me a code for the battery light. I don't know if that particular problem doesn't make an error code, or, mind you, I have the cheapest ODB sensor that money could buy.
So you bought like the $2.50 one over at the Dollarama?
Yeah, I bought the little cheapo $15 Bluetooth thing that you had to install an app that hasn't been updated in 10 years type of thing.
You might need an update on that,
but it'll tell me if there's codes, and it'll give me the code numbers. It's just that's all it'll really tell me. Well, it shows, but it never picked up a code from this.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Did you buy that from Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You could pop a reviews like, okay, this use Bluetooth and an app on your phone.
Well,
and it's pretty crappy.
It works for what it is. I'm not disappointed in it. I've very few times in life have I needed it.
But is the app still updatable?
Well, the app still runs. I just don't know at what point it's going to stop running because it doesn't look like it's gotten an update in a while. And as OSs progress, it might stop working.
Not work on the newer OS. That's
but that's future.
And as soon as that happens, then you post on a review. By the way, they stop updating the app. If you've got Android 7.9.2 coming out your ass, don't buy it.
I have a feeling if they haven't updated the app in 10 years, they're not producing the thing anymore, and I'm leaving reviews on a product that is no longer in stock or sold. So, I mean, I could do that, but
okay. So you've got a questionable battery in your car.
No, I got a questionable electrical situation in my car. Mm-hmm. But after my dentist appointment, get back in the car, it still starts. I'm like, okay, let me get this car home because I know I can jump it if I need to. And once I get home, I can call the service station and figure out if they have appointments today or tomorrow or this week or whatever. So I drive home, park the car in front of the old car, stop. Well, while I'm driving home, it's rainy. So I got my wipers on, and I've got my lights on because it's state law. You have to have your lights on if the condition is such that you have your wipers on.
State law for like most states, though.
I think so.
And you know what? Even if it isn't, freaking turn your headlights on when it's raining, guys. I don't care. Just do it. It's not hard. Just do it.
I know that became a New Jersey state law when I was first learning to drive. So it hasn't always been a law everywhere, and it's a law that exists on state levels. So I don't know if 50 of 50 states have that, or 48 of 50, or
honestly, it really should.
There may have been federal pressure to get it, so all the states just buckled over.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'd have, that'd be something to Google. That'd be something that we didn't cover yesterday. So maybe we got Sparky to slow down on the Cheerio count, but he also wants to know.
We're gonna have to get a refill soon. That's how many I counted.
Sparky's ass has your car been fully vaxxed.
Oh no!
Oh, excellent!
Not the one that smokes. That one needs another.
I don't know. Well, Genocide Rob used to put like a thing on the front of his car that kind of covered the nose. So I guess you could say he was masking.
Oh wait, he had a car bra on his car.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He had a Plymouth Neon. And he got he put a spoiler on the back of it, like a race car fin spoiler thing.
Was it one of those like
mounted to the hood
ones?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
They made him go faster, really. God.
No, for that you paint a Go Fast stripe.
He had decal logos. He had, he did the thing up like it was some kind of a hot rod, but it was a Plymouth Neon.
He riced it up. Actually, people did hop up the Neons, but they had put better engines and stuff in it. So,
which compared to the Chevy Cavalier with the big gulp sloshing around on the floor, it was an improvement. but a racing car, it was not. We still never won a single race in it.
Oh.
But anyways, where was I? So
you're saying that you turn your windshield wipers on and the lights on at the same time
because
on the way home.
Safety.
It was raining. Yeah.
And so at some point on the way home, the wipers got stuck in the up position, and that's what I knew I was in trouble. And the car actually sputtered as I turned the corner to get into my driveway, like it was kind of a. Like it was getting ready to kick it. So I parked the car, I stopped the car, I tried to start the car to confirm what I pretty much knew, which was click, click, the car ain't starting. But at least it's home in my driveway. So I'm like, okay, no worries. Let's get the jumper cables out and let's see if we can jumpstart the car with the old. So I take the solar trickle charge off the old car. I put the keys in, starts right up. That car starts no problem.
Why don't you switch off batteries?
Excellent.
So I get my jumper cables, clamp positive, ground, and go into the car, starts right up, jumps no problem. Now here's the thing, I know that I likely have a bad alternator, so I likely have nothing in my current car that's going to charge the battery. So if I disconnect the jumper cables, my battery's going to stop getting juice. So I left the cables connected for a while, figuring let's let it run and let's let the old car's alternator, charge my battery a bit, give it some juice so I can get it to the station. Okay. So I'm hanging out in my car, kind of, letting it do its thing, checking out a few things, and I notice that I smell burning. And so I get out of my car, and like I said, there's smoke. There's, oil smoke coming up out from under the hood of the old car. So, hoses or gaskets or something is aging on that car that's causing, which, mind you, I remember there were a few months that car was smoking when I was driving it to Tharco and back. So it's some tourists just do that. And then you have to take it someplace for them to make it not do that. So after about 10 minutes, so it's smoking. It's making noise. I'm seeing rainbow patterns in the wet driveway because it's rainy out. I'm like, I don't think I should keep running this car much longer. So
that was your spare car, right?
That's the first skier car.
That's the parts car.
That's the junk car.
You should take the battery out of the other car and replace it with the other car. The battery in your one gear car is probably a newer battery, right?
Hindsight.
You mean you can't do it now? You still can't. You can't do it anymore.
Like I said, this story's run its course to its conclusion. So
okay.
Oh wait, well, we're waiting for a conclusion.
So that's hindsight. So I stop the cars. I take off the jumper cables. I call the service station. They said you could bring it in today. So I'm like, okay. I was able to. So I go in, turn the key, starts right up. I'm like, all right, well, I had enough juice to start it after that jump, so I must be good enough to get to the service station. So I
the windshield wipers work again?
Oh, I decided to drive without windshield wipers and lights to go down the streets of the service station at this point.
In the rain?
What's that?
In the rain?
Yeah, so it's a little blurry. I just need to look for moving blobs. I was just going down the street, local roads to the service station, and I have limited battery. At this point, I'm not turning the lights on or the wipers on. I'm not turning anything on. I'm just getting this car.
Did you have your heater off?
Yeah.
How far to the gas station?
How far? A few miles. Not very far.
Yeah.
But let's.
So you made it though.
Allegedly.
The car does make it to the service station.
Oh, yay!
Yay!
But
good job.
Not through its own.
Oh, did you get some exercise gaiters?
Did Kristen push it for you, or did you put her behind the steering wheel?
Oh.
No. Kristen stayed home throughout this ordeal.
Smart woman. She should take care of the cats.
Yeah.
That's right.
So anyways, it's a 2-mile drive to get from my home to the service station.
Yeah.
And I think I made it about, a little under a mile.
Oh, so you were pushing, or did you get a tow?
Yeah. There was a tow involved.
You had both?
No. We actually didn't do any pushing.
Oh, that's good. So tow.
So, well, here's what happened. So I get on the road. The battery light's still going, and I decided to leave the lights and wipers off, and let's just try to get to the service station. Now I'm trying to conserve energy. After doing a few round trips on no alternator, now suddenly I care about conserving juice. Mm-hmm. So I get on the road. I have to make a right turn and a left turn and go through a few lights. So I make the right turn. I get to the intersection where I need to make the left turn. What's at that intersection? A long, big-ass flatbed truck that is too big to make the turn that it is trying to make, blocking the intersection.
You should have asked him to pick you up and take you to the service station.
I should have, but he was trying to turn, so I wasn't behind the flatbed. I was watching the cab moving back and forth and like reaching a point where it's like maybe I should drive on the sidewalk to get this thing to finish its turn.
Oh, did you drive on the sidewalk?
I didn't. I was just watching this truck go. This truck was blocking the intersection because it can't make the turn. This dumbass had no business trying to be in this intersection. I don't know what this truck was doing or where it was going, but it shouldn't have taken that route because that was just
he missed the sign that says no big ass trucks.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but so I had to turn around and backtrack and find an alternate route around this intersection. So I do that, and I reach a point where I'm approaching a police station, and just at that point, the acceleration stops working.
Oh, you can't go.
And I'm rolling, and the car's still running, but no acceleration's happening. Gas pedal's not doing anything, and there's a car behind me, of course. And so I'm like, looking for a place to turn off with what rolling I have left. The first driveway I pass has cars parked in it. There's not room for me to turn in there. And so there's a parking lot up ahead, but I can't get the gas to do anything. And I basically rolled to a stop just before the entrance to the parking lot, which also happened to be right next to a fire hydrant.
Did you get which is not far from a police station?
Which is not far from a police station.
Nice. Perfect scenario.
So I didn't even realize the fire hydrant was there till later when I drove back with the fixed car. And I'm like, oh, perfect. That's a great cherry on the shit sundae that I came to right in front of a fire hydrant. So anyways, I pull out my here's the thing. When I moved to Massachusetts and I got ready to register my car in Massachusetts, I needed to deal with the insurance situation. And so I got a few quotes, and I found that Geico was offering me a cheaper rate than my current than Amica, who I use for my insurance and still use for my insurance. So spoilers.
Oh.
So I get a quote from Geico. They're offering me a cheaper rate than Amica, and they're offering free AAA with your Geico service. Now, I don't think they do that anymore. So I don't know what would have happened if I went that route. But that's what kind of pushed me over the edge because AAA is awesome. AAA is absolutely awesome. I've had it at times, and we're going to talk more about that later because I did some maths and figures, and I should have used my past strategy, and I didn't. But because I'm a dumbass.
Well, AAA is really neat because they give you one for each tail, which is really a nice feature. Yeah.
Yeah, they give you four. Well, you want to get the middle rate because the first rate basically gives you a very limited tow. But the middle rate, you break down, you get 4 roadside assistances a year and tow to a service station up to 100 miles.
So that's only 4 tows. What about the 5th?
Well, if you need 5 tows in a year, then
big tow.
I don't know. I've never had that. I've never encountered that. But I did not.
You're a dumbass. But you have a big dumbass. You have a big toe.
Yeah.
2 big toes.
Yeah.
Only one.
So, anyways, so when I called Amica to cancel my insurance because I was going to go with the Geico AAA package deal, Amica said, well, why are you canceling? And I said, well, Geico's offered me a cheaper rate. They're like, well, we can, take a look at what we're offering you and see what we can do to help out with the rate there. And I said, and they're offering me AAA. Well, we have roadside assistance. And so they look up, and sure enough, they pull together a quote that's basically offering the same things Geico's offering, plus roadside assistance for the same price as Geico. Maybe it was a little more, but it was the company that I've been using for years. So with loyalty, being a little bit more was close enough that I'm not going to cancel them over, pocket change.
So you called Geico back and told him, well, sorry, I got a better deal.
Well, yeah. Well, Geico, I just, I never called them back to finalize because I was going to cancel.
You hadn't actually placed the order.
Right. So,
Gotcha.
So I stuck with Amica because, well, we have roadside assistance. You'll be fine. So I figured, okay, roadside assistance, I'm good. So I knew that I had roadside assistance with my Amica insurance. Now I had to Google this today because Dune wasn't believing me. And so Massachusetts has a unique thing when it comes to auto insurance, and that is Massachusetts does not require carrying an insurance proof of insurance card in your car. Your insurance information is put on the registration form. So it's license and registration, no insurance card, because it's tied to your registration. They don't need the card to prove it. You show your proof.
They already have the information.
You show your proof of insurance when you register the car. They put your insurance information on the registration, although they don't put the policy number on the registration form. So I don't have an insurance card in my car. Now,
why not?
Because they don't offer that, because Massachusetts doesn't require it. So you
don't actually get one at all.
You don't get one at all. They don't provide it. They don't make it.
Oh.
In fact,
of course, if you go into Connecticut and you don't have a card, you go directly to jail.
I don't know what happens if you get pulled over in a state that's not familiar with Massachusetts not having
California,
insurance cards.
You'd be a deep shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I would think that it would be the officer's responsibility to know these things, but I don't know how that really plays out in practice. You know? I mean, it is on the registration form, so you could point to that. And I would think that nearby states are probably familiar with that. I'm thinking Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, Rhode Island.
So you can't just show the registration card and it'll show that it's...
It shows that you have insurance with what company. It's it doesn't put the policy number on there.
They never ask for a policy number. They look at the card and they pass the card back to you.
Right. So anyways, one thing that Amica does put, because when I looked this up, I found that Amica includes some verbiage, because the website has the tab to click on to get your print out your own cards if you need to. And basically it gives me 2 entries with no link and no card. And it says Massachusetts does not require insurance ID cards. However, a Canadian ID card is required when driving in Canada. Let us know at least 1 week prior to your departure, and we will mail Canadian ID cards to you. So yes, Massachusetts drivers have to give at least a week's heads up to their insurance provider to make special cards just for driving in Canada.
So why don't you get that card right away? Because pretty soon you're going to be driving to Oak Island.
I would never. You can put a gun in my head, I'll tell you to pull the trigger.
What if they find a huge box of treasure?
Brian,
that's
I have
not
a
my
question.
treasure.
Brian, I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. If it's an island, how does he drive there?
They have a causeway now.
Why?
To get to the island.
Oh.
It was built built in the 60s. Because they wanted to bring some huge cranes there. This guy named Robert Dunfold brought in a huge crane and he dug a huge hole. But he missed and he found nothing. Okay. He didn't go deep enough. The hole started collapsing on him. Common problem there. They're not going deep enough.
Anyways. So I'm getting out my phone to look up Amica's phone number so I can call them and ask them what I need to do to get roadside assistance. So just as I'm Googling the phone number and I start dialing on the phone, that's when I notice the police car pull up next to my car. With the lights flashing.
Did you get up and give him a hug?
There was a dude there that was very curious why I was blocking his road. And so I... and I had
my car died.
And I had this moment of fear as I reach for the button for the window, and I think to myself, I probably don't even have enough juice in the battery to get this window down, and I'm going to have to open the door. And the cops love it when you do that. So I...
Watch the car start right up.
But luckily, there was enough juice in there to lower the window, although it did a very slow and pulsed zzz, 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 zzz. And the officer looks at me and I say, my car died, battery died, I think I have a bad alternator, I'm on my way to the service station. He goes, all right, let me back up behind you, and I'll come up and we'll talk. I'm like, okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You know, so he parks.
Sounds like the cop's willing to talk at least. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, no, he needs to help me get this
so
car out of the road.
So he believed you, thinking that you won't be able to drive off.
Well, I was,
yeah.
Yeah. So he pulls up behind me, puts on the blue lights, and walks up, and he goes, "Look it, we have a contract with the towing company. The town has a contract with the towing company, and I can get a truck out here within 15 minutes." And I like, okay, but I assume there's a cost associated with that. He goes, "Yeah, it's by the mile." And so Sparky writes in, "Cop saw the window lowering. That's proof enough."
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why you kind of creak open the door and put your hands up on the door and let them know that you're stuck.
Now, as Dude and Sparky have pointed out, they suspect this dude with the towing contract with the city is the cop's brother or cousin or uncle or some relative of some sort.
Is that the same outfit that does Amica towing?
Well, that's the thing. So I said to the officer, "Thank you so much for the offer. I do have roadside assistance with my insurance." And he goes, "Oh, okay, well, how does that work? Or how's that working for you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm looking up the number now. I was going to give him a call. You know, it's what I already pay for, so I may as well use it." And he goes, "Yeah, okay, all right. Well, tell you what, why don't I give you a few minutes, to call them up and sort that out, and I'm going to go back in my car because it's getting wet out here." That's what he said. Although what he's really saying in his head is, "You go ahead, you call them. Well, I go in the car, pull up your information, make sure there's no warrants out for you."
Yeah, pretty much. We all
know
what he's talking about, which is fine. That's his job, so, you let him do what he does.
And I know that's what he did because later on when he came back to the car, he made reference to, "Well, you live within a mile of here, so it shouldn't be too much to tow you there." Yeah, so I'm like, okay, dude knows where I live. Like, you immediately notice that when someone nonchalantly drops a little something in there.
Did he have your ID?
No.
Oh, he didn't. He actually didn't take your ID or anything with you?
No, he pulled it up with he pulled it up by the license plate. He must have run the plate. Basically, pulled up the address.
See, and that's the thing. Why do you need an insurance card? Why do you need a registration tag? Card. Why do you even need a driver's license? They pull up. They look up the plate. They know not only who you are, that you have a driver's license, that you have a registration, that you have insurance. You don't need no stinking badges.
Well, Dune raised the point yesterday. You register the car for a year, you can insure the car for a week. Like, what system is in place to prevent someone from canceling their insurance after they've registered the car?
Oh, and people do that.
Right.
Yeah, they have a long enough. See, the thing, though, is if you're caught and you're uninsured, then you go directly to jail. Do not collect $100.
But, and Sparky raises a good point because people steal plates. Now, mind you, also, I think asking for pieces of paper gives a good chance to observe behavior. Yeah. The owner of a car generally knows where those papers are. So if you see someone... Now, of course, there are genuine, legitimate situations where the owner has misplaced or is not quite as organized. But it's an opportunity to observe things and add them up. Does this person know where the paper is?
Have you been pulled over by a cop and he unstraps the safety strap on his gun?
No. That's
happened to me twice.
Wow, Brian, what kind of warrants do you have?
Damn, Brian,
Boy,
no warrants.
Is there bad lighting in your car or something?
No. And I have the hands on the steering wheel. Be very polite with the guy, you asshole.
You look guilty, Brian.
now
it
clearly,
must be a minority.
I think they pull up and they pull up your information and see that you've moved to California from like Connecticut. Or
this would happen. I was
East Coast asshole.
I was living in Texas.
Oh, that explains it.
Pulled over by a Texas cop. That was one time. I think the other time was in Connecticut, and I was living in Connecticut.
Wow. I've never. No. My encounters.
Either that, he unhooked it before you noticed that he did.
No one. I've never observed that, but anyways, so
to all the viewers or listeners, watch for the guy's hand by the gun to see if he's unstrapped his gun. Next time you get pulled over.
I'd rather just stay blissfully unaware. Here's the thing. The more things I notice, the more nervous it's going to make me. The more nervous I look, the more nervous it's going to make him. So,
And I have actually the guy that was in Texas, the guy came up to the window and he was shaking more than I was. Of course, I've been pulled over many times by that point. So, what different? Hey, I had a West German cop pull me over.
You just have that effect on people, Brian.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I have lots of experience.
I call Amica. They have the automated system. For road. Why are you calling for claims? Say claims for And I'm like, roadside assistance. You have selected roadside assistance.
Yay.
We will send you a text that you can click on with a link you can click on your smartphone.
I hate that.
To submit a request for roadside assistance. I'm like, oh my God, can you give me?
I'm already talking to you.
I should have tried to hit 0, but I didn't. I'm like, all right, let's try that. Because anytime I try to fight the phone, I'm just wasting more time.
Back. Yeah.
It fights back, and it's like, you will take this path, and you'll like it, or you won't get there. So it's just a waste of time to fight it. So I'm like, fine, I'll click the link. So I click the link, brings up a website with the form to fill out. I fill in my name, my email address, my mother's maiden, my father's maiden.
While the cop's still waiting there?
Oh, he's in the car behind me. And I get to the 3rd or 4th page of this, and it asks me for my 10-digit policy number. I pull out my registration form. It says I have insurance with Amica, but it doesn't have the policy number, and I don't have an insurance card. So I have no fucking clue what my policy number is.
Yay!
And at this point, the officer comes back and goes, how things going with Amica? And I'm like, well, I need to figure out my policy number, and I don't know it because I don't have an insurance card because it's Massachusetts. And he goes, yeah, well, maybe I could give you a hand pushing this because we got to get this out of the road.
Yeah, and that's understandable, too. It needs to be out of the road.
I'm like, okay, well, the thing is, when the car died, by instinct, I put on the parking brake, which is not a problem, and I shifted it into park, which it's not going to come out of easily.
Oh.
So I'm like, all right. Well, let's, if we get this in a parking spot, that makes you happy, and that gives us time to calm down and come up with a better plan B. And figure out my policy number. Heck, I could get the trickle charger on this thing and maybe get it to start again tomorrow. Because at this point I threw the solar trickle charger in the back of the car just in case something happened, even though I knew that was not a, quick fix. And it's a rainy, gray day out, so it's not like it's going to help me much. Anyways, the thing is there is a little plastic cover next to the gear shift that requires a jeweler's screwdriver to easily lift up, and that then has a hole that requires a big screwdriver to shove down that will then allow you to shift into neutral without the car being started. So I go into the back of the car. I have a big screwdriver, but I don't have a small screwdriver, and I'm desperately trying to
try this. What about the one Sparky gave you?
That was in my bag, which is at home.
Oh,
that was
sad.
that was my traveling. Sparky goes, I'm not understanding why the car's
in the car. You can play the dumbass music again. That was obvious.
I turned the key to the run position. It still wasn't shifting. I don't know if that's something more modern with electrical things or whatever, but the point is that there's a bypass hole next to the shift that I got to shove a screwdriver down in order to be able to shift it into neutral if the car's not running. And I don't know. all I know is I tried everything and I couldn't shift into neutral. And I couldn't get the plastic cover off. I probably should have just broken the plastic cover. I probably should have just gone stabby with the screwdriver and forced the damn thing. But I didn't want to look like a psycho in front of this police officer. So I'm just trying to pry it, and I also don't want to...
Here would have been a better way. You ask the cop, "Can I borrow your gun?"
Okay, you're getting the drum fill for that one. That was, yeah, that...
I noticed you already have it unstrapped.
Can you hand me your gun, officer? I only need one bullet.
Yes.
Sparky's going to research this. Maybe I'm a weakling. Maybe if I had it in the position right, maybe I didn't have it turned all the way. Maybe I'm a dumbass. I've certainly been a dumbass many times in this story. So, yeah, but if I had the Sparky screwdriver with me, mind you, what car? This is a 2008 Ford Taurus X. It's not a 72.
72, you wouldn't have to worry about the electronics.
70,
they hadn't invented it yet.
72, I would ask him to help me push it off a cliff somewhere.
Right.
Anyways, so we can't get into neutral, and here's the thing. This officer, very friendly, very polite, trying to help me, but he also expressed like, we have to get this car out of the road.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
pretty much.
I don't want to find out how far I can push this officer's patience, because at some point I suggested to him, if you can pull in front of me, we can jump the car, and I should be able to get it to start long enough to get into a parking spot. And he said, well, I don't have jumper cables. And I said, well, I do. But he didn't jump up at that point. So
what if he pushes you from it with his car? Would that work?
If I could get it into neutral.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. The X is for basically a Taurus X was wagons fell out of style, so it's basically an SUV version of a Ford Taurus to take the place of the wagon, because wagons aren't a thing anymore. That's what that was. So it's an SUV-ish car with all-wheel drive. Were they ever in style, Mars?
I don't know. We used to have a Dodge. What was those Dodge station wagons that was like this horrible brown color with the yellow interior.
Yeah, we had a
and it had an 8-track though, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, we had a Oldsmobile wagon that was a diesel that had an 8-track in it. I think that car broke down. That car broke down in a McDonald's drive-through. We had to get the employees out to push it out of the drive-through.
That's a bonus for the kids. I'm just saying.
But then we had a 1988, I think it was an 88, Pontiac Safari, which was what they renamed the Parisienne. And that was, tan with the fake wood siding and the back-facing back seats.
Oh, nice.
Classic wagon. And then that eventually got replaced with a Pontiac Montana minivan. Yeah. And then...
Did you steal the fake wood paneling off the other car and put it on the minivan?
My high school science teacher ended up buying that wagon, and then her neighborhood flooded, and that was the end of that car.
Did you get a good grade in that science class, or did they say that car sucks and you fail?
She bought it after I had already graduated high school.
Oh, thank God, right? Thank God, right?
Yeah. So, anyways, where was I in this story? Oh, yes.
Cop was trying to put it. You told the cop that you could.
I don't know how far I could push this cop's patience. At some point, I should have said, right, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to pull your car in front of my car. I'm going to get the jumper cables. And then I should have done that. This is a hindsight. I should have done that and see if he responded to that. And if he said, no, we're not going to do that, then I could have said, all right, call your brother. But instead, I decided, let's not see how far I could push this cop's patience. I said, so once I couldn't get the plastic cover over, I'm like, call your guy. Let's get the tow truck out here. I'm out of, all my efforts have failed here, and I want to unblock your road.
Gators.
Oh, your screwdriver absolutely would have saved the day, Sparky. It would have.
You know what? What you do? You take the Sparky screwdriver, put it in your glove compartment.
Yeah, because
that's where it lives.
Sparky sent me that screwdriver to replace another screwdriver that ended up getting found. So I now have the original screwdriver. So the Sparky screwdriver needs to be the car screwdriver now.
Yeah, you put that in the glove compartment. Just let it go. Just stay
Now,
there.
I gotta tell you, when I was looking for screwdrivers, I was so tempted to crack my normal joke to the police officer and say, if you go get the orange juice, I'll go I'll get the orange.
You really want?
We can share. We can share.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was probably not the right person to share a drinking and driving joke with. But yeah, no. If I had the Sparky screwdriver, I would. Because here's the thing: the tow truck driver had the Sparky screwdriver. He pried the thing right off. He took my big ass screwdriver, jammed it in there.
You went forward. Wait. So what happens before you tell the part? What happened? So what did the cop say when you told him to jump you?
I didn't tell him. I said, in hindsight, I kind of wish I did that.
Oh.
But because I would have gotten us in the parking spot.
Okay.
You know, when you play through it, I basically took the path after many other things failed. So when I replay it in my head, I keep thinking of all the things I could have done to avoid the path I was trying to avoid. Because I was trying to avoid.
There's it still runs that fall.
Okay.
And they have an article on modern cars have electronic ignitions. Most of them have electronic shift lock. Often includes a safety or anti-theft feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It presents the problem with your battery is dead without power and electronic shift lock. So if a crook reads this article, he knows how to unlock it.
Okay. Anyways.
So say you're parking the box to brake, locate
the unable to get the car neutral and unable to get my policy number, and having a cop who's very patient that I don't want to test that patience.
Yeah.
I basically said, call your guy. Let's get the tow truck out here. Let's do it. And he's like, okay. So he calls the guy. Sure enough, within 15 minutes, truck pulls up, backs up behind me. I explain to the guy, okay, it's, it won't start. It's an all-wheel drive. It's in park right now. We need to shift it to neutral. He goes, okay, that'll be fine. And he's starting, hook up the chains, hook everything up. And then he's like, all right, let's get in neutral. And I'm like, okay, you got to. He picks up the big screwdriver to start prying the thing. I'm like, you need a jeweler screwdriver. Okay, goes to his truck, gets the Sparky screwdriver, pries the thing right up, gets in neutral, pulls it up onto the flatbed. And as he's doing this, he goes, oh, by the way, I only take cash.
What the fuck?
Bastard.
The problem is that when they accept credit cards, people dispute the charges, and I guess they get away with it. I don't.
And he says he expects he takes cash after he has your car up on the lift, right?
Well, no. I forgot to mention that part while I was telling the story. He tells us part of the story while he's chaining up the tires. So he could have, backed out. He told me as he was starting, by the way, it's cash only. Is that okay? He was honest.
That's good.
It wasn't. Good. He didn't get on the truck and then say, "I told."
Yeah, that would. I'd been like, "Can you put my car back down now? Because I got no cash." So
How much was that going to be?
Well, it depends on mileage, but it came to $220.
Yes, he gives half to his cop, brother the cop.
$220. So, and I decided
that's not bad. That's what I would expect.
Well, actually, I could have done better, and this is going to be the hindsight part of the story. So he gets the thing on there, tows it. Sure enough, bad alternator. New alternator was, the whole thing came to like $500 because they also gave me a new battery as well, because the battery tested okay, but there was, I guess one of the measurements was a little under, and so he's like, I don't know, it might be good, it might not be good, it might just need to be charged up more, and so I kind of said, I'm driving to Jersey in a week, put
you
a new
might as well
battery.
just put a new battery on it, please. Thank you.
Yeah, this is not the time to start messing around with old batteries. Put the new
Before you
battery
drove to Jersey, you would have gotten like your car checked out anyway, right? Is that what you usually do?
Well, not if I don't have a reason to.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, they finished it up, new battery, picked it up, it's fine. So then I called Amica. So here's the part of the story Sparky hasn't heard yet. Because first I called Amica on that day to complain about how unfriendly their roadside assistance is, using an automated system, sending me a link. Like, I'm broken down on the road. The last thing I want to be doing is fiddling with my smartphone. This is not good.
Pretty much. No.
And
I agree.
and so I asked to speak to the cancellations department. Sparky wants to know how old the existing battery was. In the 5-year range, old enough that it wasn't ready to definitely be dead, but old enough that maybe it could be dead. You know?
Did you purchase in Massachusetts?
Yeah. So I call Amica to talk to cancellations, to complain about the roadside assistance, to see if they'll cover the towing expense. And they say, look, our computers are down right now. We can't help you. And I said, okay.
I'm calling Geico immediately.
When should I call back? Well, my boss has been telling me to tell people to call back this afternoon. I'm like, okay, well, your boss told you that a while ago because it's 12:05. And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm like, no. I just wanted you to know that because all those people you talked to earlier are going to be calling you back after we get off this call.
Yes.
So
she's like, hey, you mind if we talk for a little longer? What do you think? Hey,
well,
how was your lunch
let's
today?
Just stay on the phone and your computer will be coming back.
I mean, she thought I was being passive aggressive. I'm like, no. She's like, I'm sorry about your day. I'm like, no. I'm sorry about yours. I'm gonna go on with my day. You got to deal with more calls coming. You can't help.
You know, when someone says their computer's down, everybody sympathizes. We all know.
Yeah.
You're like, oh crap, I'm so sorry.
I'm like,
you know what?
I
do not sympathize, Mars. I do not sympathize.
Because he's a programmer.
That's right. The user should have a backup plan when the fucking computer is down. Period.
But
it happens all the time.
But that's corporate's problem because the corporate system was down. The end users sit in front of their computers. This isn't their fault.
I know it's their fault, but they still should have a backup plan.
Their backup plan is to take calls,
sit there and
be polite,
and twiddle their ass.
Well, what could they do if they don't have access to your data?
Write down the information and
to call back later, or
write down information to come up with a solution and come back with a solution.
Well, mind you, I was talking to the cancellations department.
Right.
So it's not like we'll write it down, we'll put that cancellation through. No, they need access to data to try to come up with options to appease disgruntled people. This is I basically caught this poor lady with her pants down. Yeah. That sounded wrong.
So, Gators, I do have homework for you. This is what I recommend you do. If you're still with Amica, call them up, get your number, and write it on the back of your thing, just in case I put it in the car.
Well, I called back today, and they said, oh, well, let's put you down for one of our mail-out cards, because apparently they do have roadside assistance cards that they provide to people to put in their car.
Oh, good job, Amica.
With your insurance number?
I assume so. We'll see what comes in the mail.
Policy number, it should,
It'll probably just a stupid card with the phone number that you used before.
We'll find out.
Text this number and we'll have you fill out a form.
To be determined next week.
That'll be fun. That'll be a good update to the story.
So let me tell you something. This is where we really kind of learn something, because if I get
in the Amica cancellation department, just take your name. We'll call you back as soon as the system is up.
So my method to deal with this situation when I lived in California was I always carried around a AAA membership card with me.
Yep.
I didn't always have AAA membership, but I always carried around a AAA membership card with me, because if you call AAA and you give them your membership number and you're not a member, they'll let you sign back up right then and there. and they'll transfer you to the roadside assistance department right then and there and get you a truck.
That is sweet, right?
Yeah.
And how much is AAA? Well, as I mentioned, if you go to the AAA, let me pull this up right now. If you go to the AAA website right now, you don't want to deal with Basic. Basic sucks because that only gives you towing up to 3 miles. 4 roadside assistance calls per year with towing up to 3 miles. Now the plus gives you
your service station is only 2 miles away, right?
Right, but what if I break down somewhere else?
Well, just don't break down someplace else.
That's not how this works, Brian.
I know, I was kidding you.
So the best option is the plus, which is 4 roadside assistance calls per year with towing up to 100 miles.
Yeah.
So there you go. No problem there. And how much is plus? Available for monthly and annual payment. Let's see, details and pricing. Plus is $6.53 per month. And right now
$653 a month?
$6.53 per month.
Oh God!
Now are trailers and RVs exempt?
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. So basically, for $78.36, you can sign up for a year of AAA, which gets you right then and there a free tow.
It's cheaper what you paid.
$80 for a tow and 3 more calls for the year, and the benefits AAA comes up with far better than $220 with Bob's uncle. So not to mention, now here's the thing, is my method has always been to sign up for the year, use the tow, and then when a year passes, let it lapse, keep the card, sign up for another year when I need it again. Now here's the catch.
It could be several years before you need it. Guess when the last time I actually needed to be towed?
What's that?
I have never been towed.
Okay. Well, now here's the thing. Signing up also has a one-time enrollment fee for $15. So letting it lapse means you're going to have to pay an extra $15.
Of course, my brother and I...
But that still only comes to $95.
My brother and I were about 2 miles away from home, driving my dad's F-250 pickup truck, and the engine blew up. We pushed it home.
So basically, I paid $220 for a tow. I called Amica, and they said, well, you can put in the claim since you have the roadside assistance, but your roadside assistance only covers up to $100. So I got a $100 credit from Amica that they direct deposited into my account. So that means I'm still out $120. Whereas if I kept my AAA card and I called up AAA for $94, I could have had them signed up, had them send out a tow truck, and still have another year of AAA service. So I did not make out good ditching my AAA backup plan and going with Amica's roadside assistance.
Yeah, you could have just kept that card.
I could have just kept that card. So I'm going to put AAA's phone number in my contact list on my phone. Next time I break down, in fact, I'm going to call Amica. I'm going to ask them, can you remove the roadside assistance from my plan? Will that, cut down my rate if you just get rid of that? Because they aren't going to reimburse AAA. They're going to reimburse a tow truck. And even them reimbursing a tow truck or sending out a tow truck, it's still going to cost more than signing up for a year of AAA. Year of AAA for under $100 and you get a tow right there. It already paid for itself. It paid for itself the first time you use it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get. I don't. It seems too good to be true, but it is.
Yeah. I mean,
Bank
a lot
account.
of insurance companies is okay. You're signed up, but you can't file a claim for a month.
Yeah, no, it's not. In fact, I was worried they were going to do that because I had that happen in California once where I broke down somewhere and I pulled out the card, I called them up, and I was worried that they were going to give me a hard time. And it's like, I need it now. And no, they ask you when you call to sign up, they go, do you need to use it right away? Yes, I do. Okay, well, let's just get your information over and we'll get you transferred right over to that department. Like they have that down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The only catch is the $15 enrollment fee that they charge you for signing up, that they don't charge you for renewing.
Yeah, but you saved. You didn't pay for it for years. Years. What's $15?
Yeah.
Big damn deal.
Right. And Dune goes. They count on people like him who would never use it but have it. Well, that's why I let it lapse. I guess if everyone did it that way, they'd have to change it. I guess most people are just renewing it every year. And it's not that bad of a price.
They just want roadside assistance. They don't really understand that little, shall we say, loop of the system. The little cheat.
Yeah. Well, they understand the cheat enough to put the enrollment fee in to try to discourage people from doing that. But it's not enough of a fee to really discourage me. So no, I gotta tell you, just carry around a AAA card, or get that number in your contact list, because that's who I'm calling next time I need it.
Have you looked at AAA insurance?
I have not. I haven't reviewed my insurance in a while because, like I said, I just stuck with Amica. I was going to go with Geico. That came with AAA. I don't think Geico offers AAA anymore with their insurance, though. I think they ditched that.
Well,
so I don't,
but you ask what the deal is.
So if I switched to Geico back then with the AAA, would I still have the AAA with it today, or would they have rolled me into their replacement service, and would I have still been out of luck? I don't know.
It's a good question.
Now, Sparky pointing in, put the insurance number in your phone also. Yeah, I'm going to throw all this information in my phone, but I'm also going to put the paper card in the glove box because, shit happens. Sometimes you got to rely on paper. So meanwhile...
Especially when you're taking a dump.
Yeah. So this car, the old car smoking and the old car, being there, and also the excise tax that came in for the old car recently.
You should tell that car it should quit smoking because that causes cancer.
Well, between dealing with my insurance company, who reminded me that I have 2 cars on my policy, between the 2 envelopes that are sitting on my table with excise tax bills, and between seeing that.
How much is your excise tax bill?
I don't know. But that basically put it back on my mind that, hey, I should make this car disappear. So there was a dude named Steve who left a slip of paper with his phone number on the windshield of my car back in December, saying, looking for a project car, and his phone number.
Oh.
And I meant to call him, but
awesome.
I never got around to it. So today, I decided today's the day I'll call him. But here's the reason why I've been putting off calling him. Because I've never sold a car before. And I have no idea, there's part of me that's like, I'd be happy to just see it disappear for free. But I know that there's parts there and there's value there. So you feel like you don't want to, sell yourself short or rip yourself off. So I'm like, what do I ask? I have no idea.
How much to ask? Okay, so start off by going into Kelley Blue Book, look up your car.
Well, keep in
and
mind,
put the worst condition, just to see what the worst condition. It's drivable. It's shitty condition. That's the worst. You say, well, that would be the top end. And if anybody offered me more than that, don't even give me the check.
Well, the thing is, with a dead transmission and not being in drivable condition, I didn't feel Kelley Blue Book was in the right ballpark.
Yeah, but that would be a high mark.
I wanted
that you don't have to go to. If it said it's only worth $50,
this is a story that has a resolution.
I know we got to get to it.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to do.
We're not hurrying because we're going for a record.
We already beat it. It's
all right.
It's past.
All right, Brian would go to Kelley Blue Book.
What was the last number?
I don't know.
40.
40 minutes?
Yeah, we went over
Okay,
that.
So we've beat 40 minutes.
Well,
okay, yes.
All right.
Go ahead,
all right.
John.
So Brian would go to Kelley Blue Book to get a ballpark figure to start with.
Right.
Mars, what would you turn to get a good starting figure if you were going to sell a car?
First of all, I go to KBB. You're exactly right about that. Then I look on eBay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think
they could even show cars that do not function.
Oh.
But you want to look at a completed sales because
I
I can ask for $1 million for a car and never get it.
Well,
that's the listing.
I did a little Googling for like selling a broken down car and to see if there's any
Googling
forum discussion or real life scenarios.
Yeah.
I didn't quite find that, but I did find a website called theclunkerjunker.com.
I've heard of that before. I've heard of Clunker Junker. Also, go on. It's Cars and Bids and what is it? Something under trailer, I think it's called. Those have good sites
too. Or donate to Cars for Kids.
No. We're not putting that song in people's heads. Stop it, Brian.
But Gators. Just remember, in less than a month, we get to hear the better version of that song.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about Cars for Kids?
April 1st.
Ads here all the time in California, right?
Yeah.
They're based in New York. I think they only service the East Coast.
So Gators,
it'd be something to have some bunker and says, "Oh, by the way, I've got this car here in California. Can you come and pick it up?"
Oh, they will. There's places everywhere. No, Brian. Gators, on the 1st of April, they have the better version of that. It's Cars for Kids.
What?
It's 877.
It's Cars for Kids instead of Kids for Cars.
KIRS. Oh no, you mean Kids for Cars?
Yeah, it's backwards. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so I go to theclunkerjunker.com. I end up on theclunkerjunker.com, which asks you your make, model, year, condition. Does it drive? Does it start? Blah, blah, blah. So, yes, it starts. No, it doesn't drive. It's got, 160,000 miles on it. This. And right there, the Clunker Junker has made me an offer of $460 with a button to accept the offer.
Okay.
Now, I could have just hit the button, but I don't know if there's a catch. I don't know what the deal is or who this is or what this is. And I have a phone number from a very nice, friendly guy that he just left on the windshield. So I'm like, let's talk to the real person and see what the real person will do. Because I'd rather deal with a human being that hands me cash than to deal with whatever this unknown entity is. And we're going to find out when Gators negotiates, he doesn't do a very good job. And you're a dumbass. We'll get there.
You get it for $100?
I did a little better than that. Well, nothing's finalized yet, though.
Okay.
So I call the guy up, and he picks up, which I was surprised because I figured an unknown number was going to go to voicemail. I was prepared to leave this guy a voicemail explaining, "You left a piece of paper on my car, 2003 Ford Taurus wagon. I want to know if you're still interested in purchasing it. So give me a call back." But he picks up. "Hello?" I go, "Hey, this Steve? Who's asking?" And so I had to go into my spiel. Well, I'm Johnny Gators from the internet. Yes, that Johnny Gators. Thank you.
Do you hang up right then? It's like, oh, you're the guy that no one wants to use the mouse button to click anything because you've been using other things to click it.
Well, you're the dude that made that polite lady that worked up in Bangor cry. We all love her. She's such a nice person. Why would you do that to her? Why would you?
He's probably listening on YouTube right now.
Yeah. Let's hope so. So, I explained, well, you left a piece of paper with your number on my car back in December, 2003 Ford Taurus. I don't know if you're still looking for a project car because that was a while ago. He goes, well, I said, well, let me just, he said something that expressed that he still wanted to hear more. So I said, all right, well, before you take this on, I just got to let you know, it's got a bad transmission. It won't shift beyond first gear. And it's probably not worth fixing. So I don't know if you're still interested or not.
New transmission if he's project car.
Well, he's probably going to scrap it. It turns out this dude, I don't think he's looking for a project. I think he's looking for scrap. Because here's how the conversation unfolds. So at that point he goes, well, what are you looking to get for it? So I decide, you know what? The computer's offering me $460, but I'm a nice guy, and this is a real human being in my neighborhood that left a piece of paper in my car. So why don't I cut him a deal? And so I said, well, could you do $400?
You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass.
In hindsight, I should have said, "Could you do 500?"
Gators, did the guy
Whatever.
go? Let me get. Did the guy go? Okay, I have a question. Is the catalytic converter still attached to it?
Does it start without one?
Yes, it does.
Loudly.
Oh, well, it starts pretty normal except for the rattling. But so it's probably
converter,
it probably still has a Catholic converter on it, so we can
not a Catholic converter. No, Gators, you're not converting Catholics especially with the Taurus. You're not converting Catholics.
I've seen
maybe
online.
Maybe a Chevelle you converted Catholic, but not a freaking
That was
Taurus.
a joke. That was an intentional joke right there. The Catholic converter.
Oh my god,
that's funny. I like it.
I think someone actually typed that into a Craigslist listing, and people have screenshotted and passed that around.
Nice.
Catholic converter. But so I thought I'd just be nice, offer him a deal, say 400, and hope he'd take it. But this is a business dude that scraps, so he's not taking the first offer, which is why I should have thrown out 500. And he said, "Oh no, I don't think scrap's pretty low right now. I'm thinking more like 250."
Oh, so he did say scrap is low right now.
Yes.
Then
So
know
at
he's a
this,
scrapper, yeah.
so I'm a little flustered at this point because I offer this guy a $60 deal based on a button on my computer that says I could get $460 right now. Mind you, I have no idea what actually happens when I push the accept offer button and if I actually get $460. I have no idea if they automatically deduct tax for that or if that's reported, whereas this guy just throws me cash and that's just that. I don't know. I don't know. There's all these unknowns, but I thought I was offering the guy a deal. And he starts playing hardball with me, and I'm like, oh God. So I decide, and I'm not exactly in a confident state. So I want facts to back me up. Sparky saying, "No, Johnny, no. Start high, 800."
Yeah.
And Dune suggesting that I need to empty out the basement and pack the car full.
hey, that air conditioner could go.
No, that air conditioner's in the window now.
It is.
I
but it's
figured out.
wintertime.
I found it. Well, it's the type that once you put it in the window,
It
it stays in the window. Now Sparky was telling me to take the 460.
Yeah,
all right, so at this point, him throwing 250 at me, I felt like I need to explain to this guy, look, I could get 460 for it right now, so no. So I basically said, well, are you familiar with theclunkerjunker.com? And he goes, no. I'm like, all right, well, I did some research. I found this website, clunkerjunker.com. They're offering me 460 for it. Now, I don't know what this is. I don't know what's on the other side of this. I'd rather deal with a real person. And I realized I didn't have a good exit to this sentence because I didn't want to say, and so that's why I think
you showed your trump card.
I could have said, and so I'm going to have to hold still at 400, but that's not how haggling works. And so I said, oh, well, could you do 300? And I kind of regretted saying that, as I said. And he said, yeah, probably. I'm working right now. Could you just text me the information? We'll talk after work. And so I said, okay. So I texted him the information. I haven't heard back from him yet, unless he's tried to call while I'm doing the show. No, I haven't heard back from him yet. So I don't know if he works late or if he's putting me off.
Was that earlier today that you called him?
It was earlier today.
Okay.
So I basically kind of got a soft, probably offering to take 300 for it, and that's where I've left it. No, I do not have a trump card. The trump card would be to tell this guy to F off and take the 460.
I'm just saying you gave away, what your plan was.
Well, I basically. Well, here's the thing. It's one thing to say no, not 250. It's worth more than that. It's another thing to say, look, I have another offer for 460.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's the good part.
Yeah.
But to give them the other extraneous information that you want to deal with a human or whatever,
right?
Yeah,
I think
reveal your sources,
that kind of
Gators.
gives it away.
Yeah,
I don't reveal your sources. Say I have another offer for 460 right now, so I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never say the website. Never share your sources.
Sparky's,
just say, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like at this point, if the guy follows through and says he'll give me $300 cash for it, I'm kind of an asshole to back down now. Not that I'm obligated to go through with it, but I'd feel bad backing down after making this offer with him if he's going to come through with $300 cash and go, no, I'm going to take the $460 from the computer. You know, like if I was going to do that, I should have said, sorry, 250 is too low. I'm hanging up now. You know, that was my opportunity to really back out. So, and I don't know.
But even still, if the guy comes up with $300 cash, take it and you're done.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about it.
I
don't have to worry about the arrangements. How are they going to come and get the car? Well, who's going to be there to get the car?
Well, the Clunker Junker basically says, you know, we will handle the towing and everything. You know, but again, I don't know what happens when I click the button. I don't know if I got to schedule it. I don't
exactly.
You know? But
you click the button, you could end up in a porn site.
Okay, Brian.
That was actually supposed to be funny.
Brian,
well, that only convinces me that maybe I should proceed with the Clunker Junker.
I was going to say, Brian.
There you go. Yes.
You know?
Yes, Mars.
Yeah. That I was going to say, Gators, just click it faster.
Sparky wants to know how much the new starter was. Well, I didn't put any. The neutral safety switch that I bought, I ended up returning because I didn't need it, and the one that was in there was fine. So the only part I put in was the new starter, which that was like, I think it was under 200. So I'm still coming out a little ahead, but I don't think that's
you're deeper in the hole.
I'm getting more than I put into the starter.
Do you have the old starter? That's the bad one.
Well, no, I had to trade that in when I got
that was a core charge.
It was a core charge.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would have had to have gone back and say, hey, can we trade back?
Yeah, trade back, put in the old piece of junk.
Here's the thing. Once I determined that there wasn't a problem with that starter, I would have had to have removed the new one, put the old one back in, and tried to return a greasy new starter. And I didn't feel like walking into the store trying to return a greasy starter saying, yeah, it's the same one. Give me my money back. And 2, I didn't feel like redoing the job, taking the one out, but because it was not easy to get that thing in there.
Oh yeah, that's a pain in the ass job. So here's a good side story since we're adding time to our deal.
Here's Dune's side story.
Oh,
Dune says, let's hope the story in 2 weeks goes. So the dude comes to my house, hands me $300, and then a Clunker Junker truck pulls up. Boom!
Ooh.
There you go.
And Sparky points out that that's what brake clean is for, to clean grease off of things.
Yep.
Sure. So here's the funny story. So I was working for an outfit that was dealing with construction-related equipment, compressors and drilling rigs. Okay. We had a customer that had a problem with a drilling rig. It needed to be fixed. So it was brought to our shop in the backyard. And then a week later, we were getting the parts for it and actually started the work on it. The sheriff shows up and slaps a tag on it, says, you cannot touch this. Okay. Oh. These guys have gone into bankruptcy. We're done there. The side story of that was he came into the district manager's office and said, by the way, if you give me $500, I'll take the tag off.
Oh.
In other words, he was asking for a fucking bribe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bullshit.
Okay, anyway, so we declined on that, okay? Anyway, so we've got this thing out in the back, ready to go back to the customer. We know the customer ain't coming back, right?
Right.
It's got all these new parts on it. Fuck. So the mechanic goes out, removes all the new parts, and put all the old stuff back. So he undoes the work.
Right.
Even though there was a sheriff's tag on it.
Although you got a question like, what's more, parts or labor? Although at that point you're not paying for your own labor, but you are putting your
Oh
own
yeah. This is
reclaiming
this
the parts.
is money down the rat hole.
See, to me,
at least we got our parts back out of it.
To me, it was just not worth the money to redo that job to swap the parts back. Not to mention, I really wasn't 100% sure that the old starter was still good. I just knew the new starter wasn't starting, which meant that likely I changed a part that it wasn't. But it could have been I had two problems. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that starter was bad anyways. And maybe I got myself into a position that's easier to get the thing on a tow truck now. It was one of those mistakes in life. I should not have bought that. I should have tried the screwdriver trick to see if I could have made the starter crank rather than the test I did do. I checked for voltage. I wasn't getting voltage, but I think I was touching the wrong node on the starter to check for voltage. It just, you live, you learn,
That's right.
But the point is that is past. Present is present. So that has nothing to do with what figure I get now, unless I want to say, hey, it's got a brand new starter on it. That should up the value.
That's right. That brings it up to $500. I've forgotten about it.
I don't know if that's gonna fly with the guy.
If he starts to renegotiate, then you say, I ain't renegotiating. There's a new starter on it.
Heck, I went down to 300, which is 50 more than his first offer. So I think he's feeling pretty good about his haggling skills right now. Although he hasn't texted me back.
But if he does be that asshole to suddenly decide to, you've got a number, right? If he decides to renegotiate off that, it says, but there's a new starter on there.
Here's the thing.
You've got this line.
I'm going into the office tomorrow. I gotta go into the office on Wednesday because one of my work friends who can drink as well as I can is having a birthday celebration after work Wednesday. So if I don't hear anything by Thursday, I'm hitting the clunker junker button. I'm not putting the effort into getting less money.
Are we getting video? Are we getting Twitch on a regular Twitch stream on Thursday?
A what?
Are we gonna get a random Twitch stream on Thursday afternoon?
You mean Wednesday evening?
Or Wednesday evening? Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Once I figured out that my siblings sometimes catch these streams,
hi Gator siblings.
I don't need to send more drunken videos out for my to hear about the next family gathering. I really don't feel like being a topic of discussion at Priester.
Damn, I should have made I should have ripped the stream with the blackberry brandy at that point, but I did not.
Oh, I have that full recording.
Yeah, your siblings do not. And they probably will never have that.
And
recording.
They never will. And there's no video associated with that. That was
I cannot wait until we get your dad on this show.
What?
That's not happening.
Oh man.
What do you want to talk to my dad for?
Why not? I think your dad's probably really cool, even though you don't think so.
I'm just saying, if Gator's dad gets on the show, Dune's calling in. I guarantee you.
I'm pretty sure
they
cool.
They can talk cars.
I'm pretty sure cool is not one of the words classmates used to describe him when he was in school. I'm pretty sure about that.
Dude, your dad has freaking Trans Ams in the Chevelle. He's cool.
I doubt that applied to me either.
Yeah.
No, it certainly didn't apply to me. We are not a cool family. But we're a good family.
But nerds are good. This is a nerd show, right?
What is even a nerd? I don't know.
Okay, back to your story. We're not done your story yet, are we?
What is there? Do you have any further questions about me? I mean, the car is fixed. I learned my lesson that I should continue to fall back on signing up for AAA instead of getting a tow, instead of getting directly a tow.
Oh, that's right. Getting rid of the other car is the sideshow.
The old car, I've got a potential $300 cash offer. Then if it falls through, I got a $460 website offer. I think everything's in a good place. Everything's starting to...
And we find out he's driving his new car to Jersey, his fixed car to Jersey this weekend. So there you go. We learned everything.
the pieces.
I'm with you,
place.
Dune. I want to talk to Pops.
He has made exactly one appearance on this show throughout all the years of doing this show, and I think I have a recording of it somewhere.
Oh,
that would be great. That would be great to hear it.
Here it is.
Amateur hour.
I need to talk to Mom.
Oh, it's Dad. Dad, it's Greg. Hey, you're on the...
Yo, what up, Dad?
hey, Greg, could you run upstairs and tell Mom that Dad's on the phone? I might be too drunk. Hold on. All right, Amanda's sober. So Amanda could...
Yeah, what's up, Dad?
Walk up the stairs slowly. On the radio. Is it seriously?
Okay, Steph's going.
Steph's going.
How about you call her cell phone?
Well, if it's on, I'll be happy to do that.
Oh,
so we found her cell phone? How's work?
Dad bought her a new one.
Oh.
Texas.
Works fine. You want to come and help?
Hell yeah.
No, I'm too drunk.
That's
whoa.
Yeah. So that was my my dad's one appearance.
Your poor dad, man. He was probably so pissed after that call.
That was I think that was the first on location show we did from the Gators mansion in the basement. And that was back when I was using a cordless phone with a cassette deck rigged up with it as a DIY phone patch. And the phone line of that house was originally a multi-line phone line, and when the phone company hooked it up, they just hooked all the lines up together to do a single line, and it caused a ground loop on the phone. So that was holy hum, Batman. So yeah, no, that is now mind you, I think that landline still exists, but no one picks it up because only spam calls come in there because everyone's got a cell phone now.
Right.
But yeah, no, that was it's funny. There was one other time that phone line got used relating to the NHP radio. And that was when I was on the NHP management team and Andrew was on the management team, and Andrew wanted to free up more spots in the schedule because we had a full schedule and we were trying to recruit new shows. And Andrew suggested, well, we don't have enough room for people to do 2 shows a week anymore. And VForge and Loopy are doing 2 shows a week. The thing is that they each kind of own their own show, even though they were both present for each other's shows, because the last production was VForge's show and Shadows of Doubt was Loopy's show. So they really took turns driving the show and being sidekick. And Andrew was like, no, Yohas, we need more room in the schedule. You need to pick which show you're going to do. I don't know if that's exactly how the conversation went down or if that's exactly what triggered it. But all I know is I was, mind you, I lived in California. I flew to Jersey for Christmas. We're having a little holiday get together. At some point, family members are leaving and friends are coming, and it's turning into a kind of the late night drinking version of the holiday get together. And we got the table in the basement and the beer pong's going and the booze is flowing. And I'm trying to figure out if my brother's cute looking friend is single or not. And it wasn't until the next morning that they were like, yeah, she's single. And no, wait a minute.
Oh, snap. You should have asked that night.
Wait a minute. I'm confusing my stories because if I'm visiting from California, I'm married at this point. So that's not when that happened. That was another time.
That's not when that happened.
No, that happened one of the visits from Maine. It all kind of starts to blur together at some point.
All the alcohol is blurred together.
I've been drunk in that basement a few times. They're all kind of blurring together into one big party now. But anyways, so this party, there was not a cute girl who I was trying to figure out if she was single or not. Or legal or not, but
wait, what?
Well, my brother. I'm not gonna repeat any Lisa situations anymore. Absolutely not.
That's good.
Yeah, you know, I mean, when you're in your 20s or your late 20s, early 30s. There are some, mid-20s that could look really young. So there are times when, my siblings have friends over and it's like, I'm not quite sure what age range I'm looking at. But I'm gonna stop.
You know what? Just surf around on Twitch. You'll find out whether they look young or they don't.
Mind
That's
you, this
the problem.
of course, this was pre-Twitch because this is the visits from Maine where I'm drinking in the basement. So, anyways, California in the basement, not checking out women because I'm happily married, and all of a sudden, Amanda comes down the stairs and goes, "Hey, Johnny, there's some guy from Florida on the phone for you." And I'm like, on this phone? From Florida? And I'm like, it can't be V-Forge. He doesn't know this number. And
V-Forge would know lots. I don't know. I would not have put that past him.
So I go upstairs. Sure enough, it's V-Forge. He's like, "Yeah, look, I just want to let you know, Loopy and I, we're out. We're quitting the network. We're we're just done. I just want to give you the courtesy of letting you know."
I wonder why. Was it Damon?
No, it was. Well, that was when Damon put Andrew in charge.
Oh,
and like I said, Andrew, I think Andrew was trying to pressure Forge and Loopy into combining their shows into one show a week.
No, because I really liked their one show. That was a great show.
No, and there were two very different shows. Last Production was Forge's show talking about the toxic shit in his barbecue, and Shadows of Doubt was
I love Shadows of Doubt.
I mean, that was a very well-run show. That show was simulcasting to AM.
That show was legacy back to Wild Bunch. That's the thing. That was such a good show.
That was such a good show. And Andrew's like, "No, they're a married couple doing 2 shows a week. We need more schedule space." Now, I think
they didn't understand. People loved V-Forge and Loopy. They loved their dynamics. I'm sorry. You don't sit there and you take off someone off the network when people love their dynamics.
Well, that's when basically when V-Forge quit, that's when Damon stepped in and said, "Okay, Andrew, I take it back. You're not in charge anymore. I'm taking."
Smart. Because Damon knew. Damon might have been a little whatever sometimes, from what I understand, but he knew. Yeah.
And
Dune mess with the Dune.
Dune writes in, the best part is nobody fucked with the Dune. That's the thing.
That's true.
And the thing is I always noticed that.
Yeah.
I always, because after Forge called and told me he quit, shit starts going down on the staff list, on the staff email list. And at this point, I'm having a good time playing beer pong, getting drunk, whatever. And then I'm, I got my phone up and it's drama.
You're
so,
like, dude, really?
And I was like, and then I see that they're going to shut the station down for a few weeks to reset things and regroup and clean up the drama. And we're gonna deal with the lack of promotion and people not clipping for automation, which is just the type of stuff I just love to hear from Damon. So
and who did clip for automation, honestly.
So I decided, I'm not.
Besides Dune.
You all shut down the station and do your shit. I'm taking a hiatus. So I quit.
Makes sense.
I quit at that point. I basically said, I sent out a drunk email, and the email included the line, "You all need to pay attention to Dune. He knows how to do this right." He's like the only one that's doing it. Like, he's over there staying out of the drama. He never gets into the drama. He does stuff. He does things. He participates. He's involved, and everyone likes him. It's like, we all need to do a better job of modeling ourselves after Dune. Did I ever actually follow my own advice? Hell no, of course not. It's how, but it was the bar I strived to reach towards and fell short and fell on my ass every time, So I actually threw that line in there. Dune's the one that knows how to do this right. And I don't think anyone ever really said anything or picked up on that line. It just kind of just flew by there. Dune writes in the bar.
honestly, I'm just saying. Yeah. Everybody needs to pay attention to the man that had the Santaner. I'm just saying that's what needed to be. That's where it ends right there.
So I'm pretty sure at that point that was when I stopped doing the amateur hour or the Suburban Homeboys or whatever it was called. It was probably still amateur hour at that point. I don't know if I was already doing dollar bin specials or I started doing dollar bin specials, but I was doing dollar bin specials at that time, and then I also bought a server to spin up my own surround sound streaming site that would stream quadraphonic and surround sound music.
I remember that. You tried showing that off to see if it worked.
It worked. The only problem is that there was no money in it. I had no way to turn it into something that would generate income, and it was a monthly expense. Mm-hmm. And that was when I was still living in Oakland. So I was not. Let me tell you, I never made that much working for Tharco. I was getting by in California.
California's expensive as crap. I understand.
Yeah, and when I started working in Boston at the previous job and this job, those were big jumps up. I was never making good money in California. I mean, Tharco paid me enough to survive. But,
also, the cost of living in Boston's a little cheaper than it is in California.
Well, plus I'm outside of Boston, so
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Massachusetts is not a cheap state. It's probably comparable, but although for rent wise, it's about the same ballpark. But house ownership, hell, I would never be able to own a house in California unless I found some high-paying city job and did that.
I know
commute.
somebody, Gators. This is where you get it. I know somebody that makes his California income. And he moved to North Dakota, and they pay for him. He bought a house, a really nice car, and everything. He still say he paid not even a quarter of what he paid here. I mean, he has a 6-bedroom house in North Dakota. Now, it's cold as crap there, but he's living pretty damn good, and he's making California income.
Now, Sparky says Johnny's saying Dune is right in his thinking. Well, I don't agree with everything that Dune thinks. Certainly, we know that. But I do have to say, if there's ever anyone there are people in lives we try to model our behavior after. Parents, family members, role models. Dune's one of those people that you just watch how he carries himself, and you can find no fault in that, really. I mean, that's something I got to say for Dune. I mean, heck. It's no secret that me and Dune disagree on a lot of things, but the only reason I even know that is because I've pushed and prodded and forced him to tell me the things he disagrees about. I think the first 5 to 10 years I knew Dune, I had no idea what his leanings were. I could guess based on, demographics and geography, but that was the only clue I had, really. And I guessed right. But even then, I didn't really understand anything because you don't know how a person thinks until you engage in dialogue. I'm just saying, I don't think I could find anything that Dune ever did in the way he carried himself at the station that I could find fault with or wrong. Mm-hmm. And I think he's the only person at the station I can say that about. Although I don't think Zane ever did anything wrong. He carried himself pretty good, too. But, there are people that... I think the problem is it's so hard to stay in the background when you really need to and when you should, when it's something you really care about. There are so many times Damon came in and I just saw things that I felt he was doing wrong, or I kind of saw, if we work together doing this, and it's so hard to hold your opinion to yourself when no good's going to come from sharing it. And I think that's what Dune's really good at, is holding his opinion to himself when it does no good to share it, no matter how much you want to just fucking say it. I don't know. I don't know how we got on this all, let's praise Dune kick here. No, because nobody fucked with the Dune. That's the end result, Yeah. You just gotta... It's all about knowing when to hold your tongue, which is something I am awful at. I'll admit it. I am awful at that, Then again, there are some people that people love because they're awful at holding their tongue. But we won't... And then I just ruined it. I just ruined it all. Quick, Brian, say something about Oak Island.
You caught me off guard. Holy crap.
I don't really
hear that. Oh my God, what?
Unexpected.
Wow.
I was kidding. I was just trying to demonstrate how desperately I wanted to get past that slip of the tongue. Speaking of not holding one's tongue.
Right. Excellent. I need to have something ready for it.
No, you really don't. You really.
That was probably my only opportunity, right?
So, anyways, I think Sparky asked, "What's the deal with Wednesday?" So, yeah, Wednesday is not a day I'm scheduled to go into the office, but I have one of the guys that there are a certain number of guys that if there's ever some sort of a after work gathering, as things dwindle down, there's a core group of people that will move on to another bar and keep the night going. And the guy that usually picks the next bar we're going to is having a birthday this week. So so I made the cut of the mailing list that he invited to his post-work birthday gathering on Wednesday. So Wednesday after work,
congratulations.
So I'm like, I love hanging out with this guy. Of course, I'll go in the office an extra day, work Wednesday from the office to do a little bar hop.
So how old is this guy? Is this guy going to be?
I don't know. Older than me.
Oh.
Old enough that the K-Tel records in his collection he bought brand new.
Wait. Maybe he'll give you some of his records. Is that what you're counting on?
No.
Oh.
I know. Somehow I mentioned K-Tel. He goes, I think I got a few of those records. I'm like, oh, you got Believe in Music? He goes, and he sends me a picture of 4 K-Tel records. One of them's Believe in Music. I'm like, okay. Now, does it have Mama We're All Crazy by Slade on it? Or does it have Let Your Yeah Be Yeah by Brownsville Station? Because at some point they changed one of the songs on that. And he sent me a picture of the back of the cover and said, it's got Slade. I'm like, as it should.
Wow.
Jesus. K-Tel nerds.
Yeah, that's my version of drunk texting.
Did you send him a picture of your record shelves?
No, I sent him videos of me working my Victrolas.
Oh, did he say you got him?
I think at that point he passed out.
Oh.
But I don't know.
See.
Anyways, yeah. So, of course, I'm gonna go into the office 2 days this week, even though I only need to go in one.
Does your video include sound?
Oh yeah.
It's not Super 8 then.
I sent him video through the phone of my Victrolas. So no.
And playing a K-Tel record?
No. Hell no.
Oh.
I would never destroy a K-Tel record like that. What is wrong?
Or how bad it is? Actually, I'd be more worried about. I'd be more worried about the Victrola than the K-Tel record, honestly.
Yeah. Now, Dune writes in, was he the one that disappeared once or something? Yes. He was the guy that we had 4 shots, of which I remembered 3, at the bar. And then he saw I was paying the bill. And I guess because we talked about it the next day. And he said, I didn't mean to slip out on you. I knew I was done for the night. And I saw you were settling up. I think I waved on my.
Slip out. He didn't want to pay.
Well, no, he waved and said see you on his way out the door. I just didn't notice because I was busy, chatting with the cute lady behind the bar who I was paying the bill.
And poor lady.
Oh, we were all fans. He was asking her if she would do a shot with us, and she kind of wanted to, but she's like, no, they really don't want us to. I think I could get fired for it.
Yeah.
Like she's looking to see could I get away with this? I'd better not. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, he slipped out while I was paying the bill. So yeah, no, that's the guy. And I have not. I've a few weeks ago I went for a few beers with him, but it was just 3 or 4 beers and I went home. Nothing like last time, and I don't plan on it being anything like that this Wednesday.
I don't know. It's a birthday party. There's gonna be some.
Well, it's going to go late. He eventually wants to end up getting wings someplace. So I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out how to. I need to pace myself, and be careful with the shots. I was going to say do no shots, but I feel like if people are doing shots and you're all clinking, you got to do at least one of them.
Okay, one.
But
shot,
I don't want to do.
water.
I don't want to do more than one. I really don't want to do more than one shot. It's just very hard to stop at one if the clinking and the cheers and all that's still going on. You want to be a part of the activity.
Do not let the trains run all night long.
The last train runs at like midnight or something like that. I basically make it a point to leave with enough time to get the second to last train, so that way when I have a drunken wrong turn and get there late and miss the train, I could catch the last train. And yes, that has happened to me. Although I thought I missed the last train, and it was like, oh nope, there's one more. So yeah, no, I make it a point. If it gets down to the second to last train that I have to leave now to catch, I'm leaving now to catch that, because I need a plan B. I also need to make sure I don't lose my bag. But like I said, I'm setting a policy. I will not do more than one shot on this outing.
Gators, can you leave your bag at work on Wednesday and pick it up Thursday or the next week, or do you have to have your bag with you?
I'm not going back into the office until the following Wednesday. So, no, I kind of need my bag.
Oh, okay.
Unless I work from home Wednesday, and when I'm done, I catch a train into the city and leave my bag and stuff here. Mm-hmm. Uber would be crazy money, but on the affordable end of crazy, something like $80, $100 or something like that. I did
don't barf in the car. You'll be fine.
Right. Sparky Radigan, don't lose your bag. I will not be sending you another screwdriver. It's a one-time deal.
It's a one-time Sparky screwdriver.
Well, now I know if you leave your bag on the train and you call the phone number for the lost and found, and you talk to 3 different people at the phone lost and found that all say, no, we absolutely do not have that bag. I have checked everything in our system, and we absolutely don't have it. They probably have it. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, I was so pissed about that, because I tried to follow their procedures. They have a phone number. They have a staff at this phone number. Why would I waste people's time? But people said, oh, you should check at South Station. You go to South Station. I lost a gray bag last week on the train. Hold on a second. Can you describe the laptop in it? Yes, it's a Microsoft Surface laptop. Bag's right there. Right there. They had the bag. They just didn't put it in the computer system that the phone operators check. And then the phone operators don't tell you that, it's not our system.
See it?
What's that?
Did you actually see this bag?
I got it back from them.
Oh, but the guy on the phone was an idiot.
No, the people on the phone there's a computerized system that logs the stuff in the lost and found. So I don't know if the people at South Station are just falling behind or if they just don't bother logging it all. And I don't know if the phone operator people are aware of this or not, because the phone operator people act as if that's it. If it's not in our system, we don't have it. They don't tell you, we might have it and it's not been logged. In fact, they say, call back tomorrow. They don't say
to future self.
Yeah.
Don't bother calling him. Just go into the station.
Right. That's another thing I learned from this. Because like a week had passed and it was still not in the computer system. So it was not, because basically when I called the next morning, they said, try calling back tomorrow to see if someone turns it in and we'll check the computer. They talked as if someone turns it in, it'll be documented. It was never documented in their system.
So was anything missing out of the bag?
Nope. Everything was there.
Well, you got lucky.
Yeah. Well, it was like a late train. They were and my stop is only like 2 stops. I don't know if that train was going to Wickford or if that train stopped at Providence. But there weren't many stops after my stop when I left it on there. So basically, train ran to the end of the line. Conductor did a walkthrough, picked up a bag and turned it in, and turned it in wherever it gets turned in to send back to South Station. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I knew it was.
All it takes is one person to say, "Hey, look, a free computer."
There weren't many people on the train at that point, so the odds were in my favor. And yes, the original screwdriver was still in the bag. It just takes
one person, though.
Yeah, but the people on the midnight train aren't exactly bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. They're basically stumbling their way out of the train, like I was.
Right.
The odds were in my favor. I just now know that the phone people are idiots and they don't use their computer system.
Right.
Maybe they use the computer system. It just wasn't put in there.
No. Well, I don't know who's. Well, the phone people. No. I fault the phone people for not being aware that the system is useless and notifying people you should check at South Station. But I really the biggest people at fault are the people at South Station. The real people at fault are the people at South Station that are not entering the stuff into the computer system that the phone operators use.
Maybe they haven't been trained. Oh, here's a person that lost a bag. We just throw it in the bin and that's done.
Yeah.
That's an easy process.
And then the phone people are using this thing that's not being used. It's complete dysfunction. And you know what? The way they run their trains, I'm not surprised.
Now, after you picked up your bag and verified, yep, this is mine, and I got all the stuff in it, did you ever talk to the phone operators to tell them, I got my bag, it was never in the system?
No, because,
that's always a possibility. Just tell the person, yes, if I don't have what you're looking for, go to your best guess station.
I have a feeling that someone calling in trying to train phone operators is not going to result in the phone operators taking their advice. I just, I don't know. If I call them up and I go, hey, I called this number and the people I talked to told me you didn't have the bag, and it turns out you did have my bag. I think they say, oh, is there anything missing? Is there something you need us to do?
Note to future self. Don't lose anything on the train.
They would think I was crazy calling them and be like, no, I just think that you should know that this stuff isn't working and you need to tell the people calling in to go to South Station. And they'd be like, wait, that's all you called us to tell us that? I don't know. It was not worth my time trying to fix their broken down system. Yeah. I got what I needed. I learned what I needed to learn.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's actually all your fault because you actually believed them.
Well, if I believed them completely, I wouldn't have bothered going to South Station to ask.
So they did tell you to go to South Station?
No, I decided to check. I decided maybe I don't believe them, and maybe I should verify. And
right,
yeah, right. No. If I truly believed them, I wouldn't have checked. I really felt like this doesn't make sense. It was a practically empty train. It would get turned in. It should be at South State. I saw it as like a 90 to 95% chance that this bag would get to South Station based on the circumstances.
Hey, we got the Natalie Page on.
Oh.
Music.
Are you hinting that you don't want to go over this?
I was just looking through the list, and I saw that one. Oh, hey, look!
Hinting that. Now, what did you think of Velvet 7 last week?
Velvet 7?
Yeah, we rated Velvet 7 last week.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Now, what did you like particularly about her channel?
I don't remember.
She should put more clothes on.
She had a very nice shirt.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sparky goes, when you went to pick up the bag, did you have to describe its contents? Yes. I gave him the color of the bag, when I lost it. They asked for contents. They asked for the make and model of the laptop that was in it. So they did do some, and they took a photocopy of my driver's license and had me sign for it.
Good.
Did Did they take a copy of your insurance?
No,
Okay.
I don't have an insurance card, so they and I took the
That's
train there, so I didn't have my car registration with me either. But I don't know.
There are people that carry that stuff with them everywhere they go. You know that, right?
No,
I don't
no,
understand that, but they do.
It's got to be in the car because then if you let someone else drive the car, it still has to be in there.
But what if they're not insured?
Now Sparky pointing out what he likes about Velvet 7 Stream.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Brian didn't notice, I guess. I don't know. I think Mars could see them.
I saw a little bit. That's fine. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I wasn't thinking of that attribute. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't look exactly at those because that's very rude. But
Well, here-
they're kind of out there. So
Let me ask you a question because I kind of feel bad about this, but I also feel like, I did the same thing everyone else did, and it's interesting anyways. But you're all familiar with The Price is Right, Bob Barker, and Bob's Beauties, right?
Yep.
yes.
Yeah. And if I asked you to name some of Bob's Beauties, you might be able to throw a few names out, maybe.
Uh-huh.
No.
No, you can't name any. Mars, can you name any of Bob Barker's beauties?
You would think I would have remembered some of their names, right?
Yeah, I would think. I mean, Bob always would go, it's the lovely so-and-so and the lovely so-and-so. Let's see if
Yeah.
anyone in the chat can name any of Bob Barker's beauties. Any one of them.
Is there like a Barbara or a Valerie? There's probably Valerie.
I don't.
Meryl.
Carol Mer- No. Well, I mean, Janice. I think there was a Chantel.
Wait, there's a Chantel?
I think so. I know, and there was also a Holly.
Oh, there was Holly. I remember Holly.
You remember Holly? Yes.
Yeah, because he was always talking about he liked Holly.
Well, and I mean, and the thing is, Holly was always the one that the mishaps happened to. Like I think there were at least two times where Holly goes to close the refrigerator door and walks away, and the refrigerator door opens back up and bumps into her, and she closes it, and then the freezer door is open, and she closes that, the refrigerator door opens again.
Oh.
Well, anyways, so I was looking at Price is Right bloopers and things like that, and someone made reference of Holly once had a wardrobe malfunction happen at the end of a show.
Oh, poor Holly.
No.
And so I immediately go,
Of course you went to go look right away, didn't you?
I went to go look.
There is an actual Wikipedia page.
Holly
The Price
Hallstrom.
is Right models.
So yeah. So
that goes back to 1956.
So let me ask if this is bad of me to have done this, and it's just one of these things I didn't plan to do this. So I hear about that there was a wardrobe malfunction, so I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to watch to see, because I figured it likely didn't actually air anything, because why they'd probably censor anything out if anything
Sure.
actually showed, and so sure enough I find a clip where Holly kind of like notices and quickly turns away, and then Bob Barker runs over and opens up his jacket to kind of like hide, and she goes run. And I'm like, oh, nothing showed, nothing happened. How boring.
Yeah.
And then I read through the comments, and someone comments, wow, that was bad timing for the Price is Right logo to come up on the screen right as it happened. Because, yeah, like while this is happening, the Price is Right logo is up on the screen.
Oh, no.
And so covering up most of what's going on.
Yeah.
And someone popped out and said, actually, the logo fades away just in time before she turns around. But you have to get it on just the right frame.
Another frame. Oh.
If you play back the video at 25% speed, you can catch it. And sure enough, when you play the video back on YouTube on 25% speed and you catch it, you hit pause, there are a few frames where full frontal nipples are showing on the screen.
Wow, that's a pretty bad wardrobe malfunction.
Mind you, it's a VHS recording from the 80s that has been digitized by an amateur, encoded to digital poorly, and uploaded to YouTube. So it's not exactly the best full frontal you can find on the internet.
I mean, think of it this way. Bob Barker got a free look.
Dune wants us to show.
Are we allowed to show that on Twitch? Is it TOS?
No. Those that is clearly in violation.
Gators can't even watch Grand Theft Auto when the boobs are chasing him.
Let me see if I can. I will send you the link.
Someone did put a link in the chat room right there.
Okay.
I just, that was awful kind of them.
Yes, that is that is the video. That absolutely is the video. Oh man, this one might be better quality than the one I was looking at. Let me and what's great
let
is
me make sure to zoom in.
Oh no, it's 240p. It's a low quality. It's the same one.
You're not gonna get 1080p on that.
And the great thing is that they instead of the closing theme, they because the I guess the Showcase Showdown won and used Kool and the Gang's Celebration. So Kool and the Gang Celebration is playing while it happens with a big old woohoo as things are happening.
Oh, well that's convenient.
Yeah.
Nice.
So but yeah, let's see if I can. I'm gonna catch it so I can get the timestamp for you all. And right now I'm at 1 minute 51 seconds, and the logo is fading away. And just as the logo fades away, it's still at 1 minute and 51 seconds. Full frontal nipples showing.
Poor Holly.
It's quite amazing that it was fast enough that they didn't catch it and it went to air.
Poor Holly.
Poor Holly. Although the best Holly blooper is the one where she's dancing with a mannequin because there's a jukebox in the showcase, and they actually dressed up the mannequin, and as she's dancing, the mannequin's pants start dropping, and she's
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, she's probably like, oh,
yeah.
Well.
But yeah, no. Google Sparky sent a link to the search, and the top one of the search, TPIR closed 1981 wardrobe malfunction, is the one, is the one that I'm talking about. All right. Well, anyways, we should. Do you need to take that?
No.
That's the wife.
It's PG&E, and I want it to go to voicemail.
That's do you know why they're calling?
Power is out.
Oh,
your power's out right now?
At the other house?
Probably at the beach house.
Okay.
That makes more sense. First, I'm like, wait, how could the power be? Oh, you own two houses. Dune did it. My question was, should I feel bad about that? But Dune just went and did it. And as we said, he is a person that I look up to and try to model myself after. So
he's
so
the
right
professional.
there.
He's the professional.
So if Dune says it's okay to check out the YouTube nipples.
Wow.
All right, on that note, it's been another fun-filled edition of
Insert Title here.
But we do try to be educational here. And, I think we've all learned a lot here tonight. So, Sparky starting us off. I learned Johnny needs to learn how to haggle better when selling cars. All right. Brian, what have you learned this week?
That you won't even attempt to donate the cars to Cars for Kids.
Hey, if I can get cash in hand, I'll take the cash in hand. Cash is king.
Yeah.
Mars, what have you learned this week?
I learned that Gator should always keep a Sparky screwdriver inside his car.
Yay.
That's a good one. That is a very good one. Now, Mod Pro learned Brian needs to raise his hand before interrupting Johnny. LOL.
Wow, his hand's always going to be up.
Just
right.
do the show like Gonna have to get something to like prop your arm up, or
it's like school. You just leave your hand up in the air, and they're like, "No, we're not answering." I'm like, "Come on, answer. Let me the answer."
And I learned that you should not rely on your insurance company's roadside assistance plan. Just always carry a AAA card or a AAA phone number with you.
Yeah.
Because you can't beat that price for a tow. And here's another tip we didn't even get to. I don't know if this is true here, but in California, the AAA centers have a DMV counter for AAA members. That is far less waiting time than going to an actual DMV.
Oh yeah.
And that
actually, Gators, what's neat is I used to get AAA on my ham radio, and I used to listen to them all the time. There were so many people that said there were so many drivers that say, "Hey, you need to go to DMV. Just go to our main office over here. They'll take care of you, and you will not have to wait in line." There are so many times.
I did that multiple times. The AAA right near where you live, because
that's the one I was listening to.
Yeah. It was not far from Tharco, so Mary Ann tipped me off on that, because like there was 1 year my registration stickers didn't come through in the mail, and it was after I moved from Oakland to Hayward, and I didn't update my address diligently, and so they mailed them to Oakland, and the envelope from the DMV says, do not forward. They don't want, the registration stickers to go to a forwarded address. So basically they instruct the post office, if there's a forwarding address, don't forward this, return it to us. So I basically knew that I was going to be out of luck and not get my registration stickers. And Mary Ann said, well, you could go to the DMV, and you have AAA, right? And I did, because that was after the breakdown happened that I signed up for AAA for. And she says, oh, just go to the AAA office. They have the counter, and then you can fill out the form, and they'll give you replacement stickers. So I went, sure enough, AAA, dead as a doornail, no one there. Walk right up to the counter. They gave me a form. I filled it out. I handed it to them. They gave me a set of stickers. I go home. I adhere the stickers in my car, and 2 or 3 days later, the original stickers were delivered to my mailbox, forwarded from the Oakland address with the instructions right on the envelope, do not forward. The post office completely ignored the do not forward and forwarded it anyways.
Oh, yes.
The
post office.
So I got an extra set of registration stickers that year.
Nice.
I could have sold them. I didn't.
Yeah.
That would probably be dishonest.
It's like I used to get staff parking permits over at my college all the time.
So I take it would have a different serial number. I take it.
I don't. Well, either way, it probably had a number that would tie back to my name and my address and my information. So if someone got caught doing something,
some big guy's gonna say, "So what are you in jail for?"
I sold a spare set of registration stickers.
Yes.
They all moved away from me and started looking at me funny.
Either that or they said, yeah, I would have done the same thing.
All right. So Brian pointed out that the Natalie Page is alive.
Yeah, still is.
All right. We're going to go ahead. We're going to raid the Natalie Page.
Yeah, she just put out a new single, didn't she?
Probably. I don't know. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Dune wrote it, and Johnny quickly sold them. I did not. No, I might have sold.
And then he moved to Massachusetts.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I probably would have gotten in less trouble for that than I got in for calling Fox Bangor and yelling at some poor lady.
Poor lady.
All right, let's go ahead and raid the Natalie Page. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back here next week. And you all have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Great evening.
We'll see you.
Good night.
Really hate new strings. I never like how they sound, and it takes like a month.
All right. Well, that was good.
Forget.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.